Recording. All right, guys. So today we're going to talk about Harley Davidson and the challenges and changes that's gone through over the years. So I know all you guys went over all the reading material and that interview on YouTube. So I guess starting with the first question, are there any similarities and differences between the company's challenge in 2004 and 2019? So I'll let you guys go ahead. What do you guys think?
So I think one of the main challenges they're facing is how the market are changed. In 2004, they were challenging on some other technologic stuff, and to during 2019, all changed. So they were one of their biggest challenges were adapting to the new technology and then building a motorcycle that everyone would like to get in.
For sure.
Yeah, I would agree with Yusuf. I would say a difference would be, I think now it's more like we moving to EV vehicles, which is different from 2004. It wasn't as dominant as it is now. I think that's a difference.
Yeah, I think the challenges that they faced in 2002 was more about the brand and the value and the way that the product was designed. But now, that age group is kind of fallen off. So it's kind of not rebranding, but kind of just changing the way that the company's seen.
Yeah. And to build off of in the article, it talked about how baby boomers are starting to, they're aging. So they're older, and you could say when people get older, they don't want to ride motorcycles. So I guess that can be a difference.
Right.
Yeah, and I mean, another difference, it's kind of like a role reversal, but in 2004, they were dealing with a lot of competitors from Japan. So they pressured the government to place heavy tariffs on imported bikes. And now it's kind of the opposite, where they're trying to grow the company outside of America, and they're just running into a lot of tariffs from other countries. So I guess it's a problem that's a little different obviously from before, but it's still kind of the same.
Continuous.
Yeah. Okay, so then for the next question, so based on the answer of a previous question, evaluate how effective the company's strategic change interventions have been between 2004 and 2019. So I guess for this question, I think it has been super effective, the changes they made, because as you mentioned in the article, they're pretty close to bankruptcy, and they went from basically almost being bankrupt to saving the company. I think they were 4 hours away from being bankrupt, but they saved their company. They're able to have some success with their motorized bikes, and now moving into 2019, they're switching into electric vehicles. So I think it has been a smart decisions that they made that have kept them alive.
Yeah, I don't think I could have said it any better. I agree with you on that
Yeah,
part.
even I know when Tesla came up as a company, they first faced a lot of problems, obstacles, a lot of things, and then once they completely adapted to the new industry, now they're they become one of the most successful car companies or valuable car companies. So I think the decision they made was their turnaround on the industry.
Yeah, for sure. So then going into question C, are there any similarities between the challenges the company faced in 2004 and the company's achievements mentioned in the interview in 2019? So what do you guys think?
Go ahead.
I was just going to say similarities between the challenge, I feel would always be just profit margins, they went from, in 2004, like I mentioned earlier, they were pretty like close to bankruptcy, and that challenge in 2004 turned into an achievement in 2019. As the interview mentioned, like they're super profitable. I think they're one of the #1 companies, and yeah, they've been able to, you know, doing the right changes in the company help them get that profit back.
I agree.
I agree. I was also gonna mention. Yeah, I was also gonna mention that as I said before, like the just the brand and the value, like they kind of hone in on being able to like customize your vehicles, and like, yeah, you have to wait a certain amount of time, but it's just kind of like you're waiting for what you pay for. You're waiting for the brand, and they tried to, you know, embellish that back in 2002, and they're still, you know, acting on that and innovating that today.
Yeah. So then moving on to question D, based on like the question based on your answer in the previous question, can you suggest that the company's turned some of its challenges reported in 2004 into achievements?
Yeah, I guess we can just go back to saying like in 2004 they were about to face bankruptcy, and they pretty much turned the whole company around, and now they're having success with EV bikes.
Yeah, like a lot of companies like are not able to manage when any disruptive technology came up. They're literally like was not like wanting to risk their like current market. However, like Harley Davidson, although they were facing like bankruptcy, they were literally just change the whole industry and then uh, get the risk to turn around.
Yeah. So going on to question E, identify the company's continuous challenges and the ones that were reported in 2004 and 2019 and recent challenges. So what do you guys think would be some like stuff that continuous challenges they've been dealing with since 2004?
I'm gonna go back to the video where he says that uncertainty was one of the biggest things starting the company, and they've had to make big decisions about just a whole lot, like about profit, about marketing, about operations, about, you know, or the public relations when it comes to the brand, and they still have to do it. And it's just something that they've never really, you know, you can never really be sure about how it's going to affect you in the long run and how it's going to affect you in the short run.
Yeah. And then I think some recent challenges, stuff that has been, you know, more recently addressed would be like environmental awareness. I don't think that's something that was, you know, 100% on their mind in 2004, but now in 2019, I feel like it's really important for a company to, you know, keep that in mind and try to bring their carbon footprint down. So yeah, I think that'd be something that's a little more recent.
Exactly. Like even in current generation, like activists, the protests are like as of uphill. You know, like they're just having a lot of like these type of protests or activists are against these type of things. That's why it is safe to do environmental things to adapt to the current market.
Yeah. So then going on to question F, considering your answers to the previous question, evaluate how well the company's strategic plan and priorities focus on addressing the continuous and recent challenges. So what do you guys think?
I would say their focus on addressing challenges. I think they're doing the right thing and moving towards net zero carbon emissions in their bikes.
Yeah, no, it's definitely the step in the right direction with the bikes.
I
Going on to, oh yeah, what's up, Yusuf?
Yeah, like I agree. Like especially like I said, like they have to like build a strategy where they can adapt to the new market, and at the same time they should also like take care of their profit margin, because in order them to like activate their plan, they should have been like financially positive or able to do it. That's why I like their strategy, how they're taking care of like their financial side, and then at the same time just adapting to the new world where they can make their customer happy.
Yeah.
I also kind of want to talk about the demographic a little bit. I know that Brian had mentioned the baby boomers back in the 2004 article and everything like that. Whenever, when you look at the strategic plan, it says that they're trying to be the most desirable motorcycle and lifestyle brand in the world, and they really want you to just, they talk about how like when you ride it, you picture going over a hill and like a grassland, and it's the freedom and the environment and like just the feeling behind it, and not so much the actual vehicle. So I think it's mainly about just the experience and the value that the company's providing, and how how it like transitions into the challenges that they take forward.
Yeah. So going into G, what would be some things that you think were like underaddressed from the company? Just stuff that weren't like mentioned a lot. Like I think something that, especially compared to the article compared to the video, I think something that wasn't touched on a lot was just like pricing in the social class.
Mhm.
Like the accessibility. You did mention the bike would be more accessible when it comes to like knowing how to drive it, which is a positive. But I just wonder how it would be economically for the bikes. And then, yeah, just moving into the last question. So, generate a list of strategic change interventions, transformational, continuous, or transorganizational change interventions for the company's continuous challenge identified during discussion. So, what do you guys think of some strategic change interventions?
I think like one of the like transformational strategic change was like how they were competing against like in 2004 against the Japanese like brand motorcycles, to the right now they are transition to the electronic motorcycle thing. So I think it was an important transition strategy. So that could be an example, I believe.
Yeah.
I think
So,
that.
oh, what's up? Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say that I think that environmental awareness could be like a continuous change, because that's something that's always kind of fluctuating, especially how like a lot of companies, not only Harley Davidson, are affecting that, like pollution wise, and just how the earth is affected by it, but also demographic. Um, I feel like demographic statistics kind of not change frequently, but fluctuate in some sort of way, so it could also kind of be a continuous change.
Yeah. And then kind of building off of that, talking about like how global warming is always changing and how we're always looking at it. You could say a continuous change would be they want to continue changing their brand to become like to have all electric motorcycles other than having both.
Yeah, sounds good. And I think for me, I think a change would be just like the tariffs. Like I mentioned earlier, just like that's a challenge that they face, is just like how to have the bikes. I know I mentioned in the video was like produce having manufacturers in other countries, so they don't have to actually ship the bikes. They can actually just ship the materials and build the bikes there. But it's still a problem since they don't have you know these factories in all over the world. So I feel like that's something that's still a continuous problem for the company.
Right.
So yeah, all right. I think we guys hit everything, and hopefully soon we can get started on our chart and start filling it out. So let's see here.
All right, guys.
Good.
Well done.